guys, good morning. So we are going to get our goats in about half an hour, but we finished the goat barn last night, and so before we go we wanted to bring you around and give you a little tour of where the goats will be living whenever we bring them home. So right over here is the goat barn. Last night we put the finishing touches on by adding the fence, which was not as bad as we thought. A lot better than what Don thought. Just a little bit better than what I thought.
Amen.
Because we had to get a fence stretcher and pull it tight because we wanted to make sure it doesn't sag, or because, you know, if they try to climb up and put their legs on it or rub against it, because apparently goats are notorious about scratching against posts and scratching against fences. So we wanted to make sure that they didn't stretch it out. So we got this up and we cemented the posts in so it's nice and sturdy. Come over here. We have the gate. We didn't know what size we wanted, so we just kind of built it ourselves and made it custom. We don't have a latch yet, but we're going to take care of that today. So right now we have this to keep it from pushing out too far, but it swings in because they say that way if the goats push out, the hinges won't let them go very far. So in here is their little front yard, complete with their own tree. So that way if they want to chew on some bark or, you know, just have a tree, they've got one. Here's the shed, or the goat barn. We've got it so that the windows can shut or open, so that way if there's weather blowing in, they don't get rained on, or on the few nights that it gets below 40 degrees here in Florida or 50 degrees, we can close them up so they don't get cold. We have double latches on the door so it's nice and secure, so that way the bears and the wildlife can't get in. We also made it so, that in the summertime, if I'm out here, it's a nice little Dutch door, so that way we can either keep them in with me or I can keep them out here while I'm working in there. Around everything we put this hardware cloth wire so that way nothing can get in, but it lets a lot of ventilation. We have it all along the top there as well, so that way it'll get a nice cross breeze through, hopefully even when the doors are shut up. So come on in. So here are their pens. We made everything custom. We made our own gates with the latches, so that way, you know, they can't get out. And then whenever they're in for the night, we have this little twisty thing, so that way they definitely cannot get out, even if they push. But again, these are miniature goats, so they're not going to be that big. I think they say they get anywhere from 40 to 60 pounds fully grown. So, and then here is their individual stalls if we ever need to separate them. But whenever they're still young and like that, we're probably just going to take the divider out and that way we just have one big stall. So for most of the time they'll have this big area to sleep in, and apparently everybody says that goats basically lay on top of each other when they sleep. So they'll probably end up sleeping in one little corner, but they have all this area if they need it. And then like I said, if we ever need to separate them for any reason, we can always just take this, pick it up, and it slides right in. And then they can't move it. So there's that. And then behind you is our miniature hay loft, where we've got all the hay that we need for a while. I mean, we're getting babies, so they won't even really be eating hay for at least a couple weeks. But that's plenty for 2 little goats. And then down here we've got the metal trash cans for sunflower seeds and grain, and then the goat feed whenever they start eating feed. We got metal trash cans because everybody said that you get like the rubber trash cans, rats or things can still chew through them, but the metal, the lid latches down really strong and it keeps moisture and pests out. And then over here we've got some built-in shelves, and we've got plenty of room to add more storage areas in if we ever want to. if we ever decide we need more. This area right here I left open because eventually when they're older, we are getting milk goats, so we can milk them. So I'm going to make a little stand right here, so that way they can stand in here and eat grain, and I can milk them inside, so that way it's the first thing I do in the morning whenever I let them out, and the last thing I do in the morning before I put them away at night. And if it's ever rainy, I can still milk them even if the weather's bad. Again, we have another window on this side for more cross ventilation with the same kind of shutters that open and close. And then if you look up, we have a skylight for them, so that way they get natural light all through the day. It's a tin roof, so it does reflect a lot of the sunlight, so it keeps it from getting too hot in here. And then we're painting the outside. We're going to paint the fronts. Everything that you can see a nice wood stain color, and we're painting the back white, so that way whenever the hot afternoon sun is beating on the back of it, it'll reflect some of the heat off of it instead of letting it come in. So that is, oh, and then I'm in the process of building hay mangers for them. And what these will do is these will go right in here. And then we'll put the hay in here. I've got bars to put here to keep the hay from falling out. The reason why I haven't finished it or put the bars on yet is because I don't know how tall to make it off the ground, so I want to see how tall they are, and I want to see how tall they get when they're big, and I also want to see how wide apart their muzzles can fit, so that way they can still get to the food even when they're grown up. So that's something that's really easy to do, and it'll take like 5 minutes, and I can do that anytime, because like I said, for the first couple weeks they're just going to be drinking bottles. So that's all. And then keep your eyes open, because we will probably be posting either more videos or pictures this evening when we bring the goats home and introduce them to their new house. So thanks for checking in, and we'll see you later on.